Life is always more fragile than it appears. There are no warnings, no delays. Only the final, unalterable result. Zambia. A land of mesmerizing extremes, where the delicate boundary between life and death is but a single breath apart. Beneath the searing heat of the African sun, every creature is driven towards the last river, the only source of life in this arid landscape. As dusk falls, this beautiful valley transforms into a brutal arena, hosting the life and death duels of its predators. Here, nature offers no dense forests for shelter or concealment. Instead, there are only dunes of fiery red sand and an all-encompassing harshness that tests the will of every species. And yet, by some miracle, life always finds a way to conquer this unforgiving land. This is the domain of lions, the most formidable and majestic beasts of the Dark Continent. But at this moment, fortune has turned its back on them. Recent arduous hunts have all ended in bitter failure. Hunger gnaws at every muscle, etching a deep sorrow in their blazing amber eyes. Every heavy breath they take is a desperate, heart-wrenching sigh. On the far horizon, a herd of impala cautiously approaches the river. It is a burning thirst that has pushed them to the very edge of recklessness. A chance wind blowing from the river has completely masked the scent of the predators hiding in the bush. The herd continues its advance, utterly unaware of the death that lies in wait. In the shadows, the lion's muscles coil, tensed like lethal springs ready to be unleashed. The pride bursts forth like a violent storm, kicking up a blinding cloud of dust across the savannah. The impala, in a state of sheer panic, flee with the purest instinct of fear. The fate of one is sealed in the briefest of stumbles. Fangs and claws sink into prey amidst the snarls and panting breaths that mingle with the red dust rising like smoke from a battlefield. A precious prize won with blood and the hunter's utter exhaustion. But this small meal is not nearly enough to fill the bellies of a starving pride. Even the vultures, the most patient spectators of this tragedy, will not receive a single share. They can only circle silently overhead, carrying their hunger and tireless vigilance into the fading twilight. But lions are not the only inhabitants fighting for survival in this harsh land. As the sun begins to set, the suffocating heat finally gives way to a cool breeze, and the savannah awakens from a long, forced slumber. From the safety of their burrows deep underground, warthogs emerge one by one. They move with caution, seeking out the rare mud wallows that remain in the dry basin. Here they meet their distant relatives, the colossal hippos, already submerged in the murky water. Both creatures share a crucial evolutionary trait. They have no sweat glands. In the merciless African heat, this is a potentially fatal shortcoming, were it not for their ingenious solutions. And that solution is this thick, cooling mud. The mud not only keeps their bodies cool far longer than water alone, but it also acts as a protective shield, preventing the harsh sun from scorching their delicate skin. As sunset begins to stain the sky red, many other creatures make their way to the precious pools of water. A flock of great white pelicans soars on the thermals rising from the earth, creating a truly spectacular sight. They are drawn to the dwindling lagoons, one of the few remaining water sources in the lion's territory. When their body temperature gets too high, pelicans perform a remarkable action. They flutter the gular pouch beneath their bill. It is a simple yet wonderfully effective system of evaporative cooling. In the shade of the nearby woodlands, dusk also awakens more secretive and timid creatures. A herd of greater kudu, with their magnificent spiral horns, emerges after a long day of foraging. They head towards the waterhole to quench a gnawing thirst. However, in this wild world, to leave cover is to accept a deadly risk. For the starving lions, a kudu is a perfect and substantial target. Suddenly, the lead bull freezes, his ears swiveling to catch the faintest sound. A single dry twig snapping under a predator's paw, or a strange current of air carrying the scent of death, is all it takes. The entire herd turns as one, vanishing into the forest shadows like phantoms. The predator has been detected, and a painstaking hunt is over before it has even begun. Meanwhile, the atmosphere at the waterhole grows ever more lively and animated. The giant marabou storks now join the pelicans. With their bizarre bald heads and scruffy plumage, they are often called the diligent undertakers of the African sky. But marabous are more than mere scavengers. When the water level in the lagoon is low, they wade directly into the mire to find their own food. Immediately, pelicans and yellow-billed storks follow, creating a rhythmic, coordinated campaign of stirring up the water. The yellow-billed stork uses its sensitive, slightly open bill to feel for the slightest vibration of prey in the mud below. As the sun sinks completely below the horizon, the savanna is set ablaze in a deep, majestic crimson. Another day of life and death in Zambia has finally drawn to a close. It is this relentless, challenging cycle that has kept this land eternal for millions of years. Leaving the bustling lagoons, we travel to the heart of the Great Plains, the domain of the African buffalo, the true, untamable giants of the savanna. Behold their majesty. A mature adult can weigh between 1,100 and nearly 2,000 pounds. But the largest bulls, true living tanks, can exceed the astonishing mark of over a ton. Atop their heads is a masterpiece of evolution, a colossal set of horns fused at the center into what scientists call a boss. This natural armor is up to 4 inches thick and as hard as rock, a perfect shield for the skull. And when needed, it becomes a terrifying weapon, capable of delivering a blow with enough force to shatter the bones of any enemy that dares to confront it. Buffalo are never alone. They depend on one another in herds of dozens to hundreds, bound together by the instinct to survive. Within the herd, unity is the ultimate strength, but there is no shortage of dramatic struggles for power. Under the harsh midday sun, 2 bulls clash, the crack of their horns like thunder in a clear sky. Each charge carries the weight of a sledgehammer, but this fight is about more than just dominance. It is a ruthless selection process, ensuring that only the strongest and most resilient will earn the right to lead the herd through the punishing dry season. And in the midst of these violent displays of power, life quietly, miraculously finds a way to blossom. After a grueling pregnancy of nearly 11 months, a new life has been born. It is extraordinary that just minutes after birth, the calf is already trembling, trying to stand on its own weak legs. This is its first lesson, a mandatory rite of passage in the endless war for survival it has just joined. As dawn breaks on the horizon, the herd grazes peacefully, unwittingly acting as engineers of the savannah. By consuming the older, tougher grasses, they manage the vegetation and create space for fresh, new shoots to grow. Thanks to their presence, many other species also benefit from this renewed source of food. However, the buffalo's role in the ecosystem is more complex. They are a vital source of food for lions. But few animals are like the African buffalo, a prey that offers abundant protein, yet possesses the power to kill its own hunter. In the nearby shadows, a pride of lions is stalking patiently, their eyes locked on the herd's every move. In a flash, the moment arrives. The predators strike a buffalo that has strayed from the herd. The vulnerable animal becomes a feast for the hunters. One life falls so that another may be renewed. The savannah has no compassion, only the unforgiving law of survival. In nature's great game, death is the price of balance. We leave the river valleys of Zambia for the vast plains of the Serengeti, where a story of succession is being written in the silence of the wilderness. In a secluded corner of the woodland, hidden in the shade of acacia trees, a lioness lies exhausted after a difficult birth. Beside her, new lives are stirring helpless cubs, their eyes still sealed against the harsh world outside. Look closely at their fur. Those soft little spots are not just a mark of innocence but perfect camouflage, helping them to dissolve into the dappled sunlight and thick grass. During this fragile stage, the lioness has made a strategic decision to separate from her pride and raise her cubs alone. It is a necessary exile, an effort to protect her young from opportunistic predators and the unpredictable brutality of the pride's own males. But in the world of the Serengeti, safety is only a temporary illusion. Not far from the den, a hyena has caught the scent of vulnerability and begins to approach with dark intentions. It hopes for an easy meal, but it has forgotten one of nature's eternal truths. A mother's instinct is a weapon more fearsome than any claw or fang. The instant the intruder pokes its head through the bushes, the lioness charges with terrifying speed and unstoppable force. Her roar echoes through the woods, a defiant message that sends the hyena fleeing in abject terror. This is the first lesson in survival, a baptism by sound and fury for her vulnerable young. The Serengeti has never and will never tolerate a moment's lapse in vigilance. During these first challenging weeks, the lioness rarely leaves her cub's side. Every rustle of dry leaves, every shift in the wind is registered with the highest state of alert. When the cubs are old enough, the pride will become not just a sanctuary, but their first school for mastering the savannah. Here, they learn to recognize the language of their own kind, to listen for distant roars, and to understand the signals that mark their territory. On a brilliant morning, an unexpected opportunity for practice arises when a herd of young Thompson's gazelles wanders near the resting pride. The adult lions immediately fan out, forming a sophisticated and flawless ambush. Driven by instinctual curiosity, one of the cubs quietly follows its mother to join the great game. But its clumsy paws accidentally step on a dry twig, creating a small snap in the silence. That single mistake is enough. The gazelles bolt in a panic, and the hunt ends in failure. In the human world, it might be seen as a mistake, But the lioness does not punish her child. She gently nudges the cub back into the circle of safety, for nature is the most patient of all teachers. Patience is the key to survival, a virtue that every inhabitant of this wild world must learn to its core. Time passes quickly in the Serengeti, and the fragile cubs of yesterday have now truly come of age. Their roar is no longer a juvenile cry, but a powerful challenge that shakes the very air. In this great land, every creature is diligently writing its own unique story of survival. And as the final roar echoes in the Serengeti sunset, it affirms a spirit of the lion that will endure for 1,000 years to come. Let us lift our gaze beyond the dry thorn bushes to admire a true icon of pride and power on the African savanna. The giraffe stands like a living tower, majestic against a sea of grass, an unmistakable image of this continent. A fully grown adult can reach the astonishing height of nearly 20 feet, with a graceful yet powerful neck measuring over 6 feet long. But this elegant and serene appearance conceals an incredibly sophisticated machine within its enormous body. To sustain life at such an extraordinary height, nature has equipped it with a massive heart weighing up to 26 pounds. This heart works tirelessly, pumping blood all the way to its head to nourish the brain, defying the constant pull of gravity. And something truly miraculous happens when this towering creature bends down to drink. A special system of valves deep within its neck automatically regulates blood pressure with absolute precision. This mechanism ensures it does not faint or suffer brain damage from the sudden shift in blood flow as it changes posture. When the first rains of the season arrive, reviving the vast savanna, a new chapter in the life of the giraffe begins. The mating season brings with it fierce and dramatic battles between males for the right to pass on their genes. Their weapons are not sharp fangs or claws, but their long, muscular necks and sturdy horns. Two giants face off, swinging their powerful necks to crash against each other, the sound echoing like dry thunder across the plains. This is a contest of pure strength and incredible endurance, sometimes lasting for hours under the relentless sun. The weaker male will eventually submit, yielding the ultimate prize to the strongest and most resilient. After the battle ends, life continues its quiet course with the female's arduous 15-month pregnancy. And then, the most sacred and anticipated moment arrives in the stillness of nature. A giraffe calf is born through a unique and somewhat harsh ritual, a free fall of over 6 feet to the ground. This seemingly dangerous fall is in fact a powerful alarm clock, instantly awakening the survival instincts within the tiny creature. Miraculously, just a few hours after entering the world, its small legs are steady enough to stumble after its mother. But peace on the savannah is never easily won. Dawn is just breaking, painting the vast African savannah in hues of pink, where a herd of Thompson's gazelles is peacefully grazing on dewy grass. These small yet proud creatures are a symbol of resilient life, always thriving in a land fraught with peril. They possess a remarkable and effective shield for survival, an extraordinary speed that can exceed 50 miles per hour. In this harsh wilderness, speed is not merely an ability. It is the strongest shield that protects life itself. But this pure tranquility is often fragile, capable of vanishing in the blink of an eye with the shifting moods of nature. In the shade of the dry bushes, a pair of amber eyes is watching silently, missing no movement from the herd. It is the cheetah, the swiftest and most cunning predator on these immense plains. It lies motionless, demonstrating incredible patience as it waits for the perfect moment to strike. The hunter's cold gaze sweeps across the herd, analyzing each individual, searching for the smallest opening. And then, an incautious young gazelle strays from the herd's protection, instantly becoming the fatal target in the predator's mind. The hunter begins its approach with masterful skill, each step as light and silent as a breeze through the dry grass. The distance between hunter and prey shrinks, now only about 100 yards. The moment of truth is at hand. Suddenly, a gazelle in the herd spots the danger, and the entire group scatters in a panicked frenzy. For the cheetah, this is the signal to begin the race for life. It explodes forward, a living arrow tearing across the savannah. A sudden, perfectly precise pounce is launched, followed by a short, sharp cry that fades into the silence. The hunt is over in an instant, and victory once again belongs to the hunter, a necessary part of the unforgiving cycle of life and death. The cheetah sits panting after its phenomenal effort, driven by instinct to begin its meal immediately and recover its spent energy. It begins to tear at the fresh meat, the vital fuel that will restore its strength after the high-speed chase. But even as it enjoys its prize, its ears never stop swiveling, scanning for any sound in its surroundings. A single moment of carelessness, and the prize it just won with all its might could easily be lost to other opportunistic predators. As the sun climbs higher, the remaining Thompson's gazelles slowly regain their composure and begin to move towards the Mara River. They carry with them the shadow of the death they have just witnessed, but also a harsh lesson in survival. Before them lies the Mara River, its deep blue water shimmering under the intense sun. The herd approaches the bank cautiously, lowering their heads to drink, but their eyes never cease to scan the rippling surface. This river is not only a precious source of life, but also a hiding place for lethal dangers lurking beneath the water. Suddenly, the water stirs, and from a distance, The shadowy form of a huge crocodile materializes on the surface. This silent hunter slowly submerges, vanishing completely into the dark water to prepare for a deadly ambush. The herd is on high alert for a moment, but then their burning thirst overcomes their fear of the hidden threat. This rare moment of peace is a just reward for their unceasing vigilance in the wild. And so the savannah continues its endless rhythm, a place where the cycle of life and death never pauses in the great wilderness. Every creature here understands that to see tomorrow's dawn, they must constantly push against their own limits. In that very harshness, the beauty of creation shines most brightly, like an epic hymn to the eternal will to survive. Beneath the fierce African sun, giant dark shapes circle silently in the vast sky. They are not proud hunters, nor are they the majestic lords of the savannah. But with extraordinary patience and a unique instinct, they have become the silent guardians of nature's purity. They are the vultures, the tireless and essential cleanup crew of the wild. With enormous wingspans of up to 10 feet, their keen eyes can spot the smallest detail from miles above. From the horizon, a pack of hyenas is approaching the most formidable opportunists of the savannah. Their chilling laughter echoes across the plains, revealing steel-trapped jaws ready to crush anything in their path. The scene descends into chaos as giant wings beat frantically, kicking dust and dry grass into the air. A few stubborn vultures hold their ground, trying to snatch the last scraps of meat from within the enemy's circle. Red dust, snarling and flapping wings create a brutal yet calculated symphony of nature. In the midst of this chaos, a universal law becomes clear. Nothing is ever wasted. Every member, from the hyenas to the smallest insects, is an indispensable link in the chain of life. The zebra's carcass does not simply disappear. It is being transformed into new life, into fertile soil for future seasons of green. As the sun begins to set, the great wings rise once more, silently melting into the distant horizon. Night falls, blanketing the world, but nature does not sleep. In the darkness, gleaming eyes reflect the moonlight as a pride of lions emerges for a new hunt. In the distance, a herd of elephants slowly approaches a watering hole, the sound of the water a primal melody of the wild. Amidst this vortex of life and death, the vultures continue to soar silently overhead. They do not bring death, but continuation, ensuring that the great wheel of life in Africa never stops turning. On the immense grasslands of the savannah, lions manifest as masters of concealment. With their powerful bodies and sandy-colored coats, they are easily camouflaged in the dry grass. The male lion is distinguished by his majestic mane, both a symbol of power and a layer of protection in battle. The lioness, with her sleeker and more agile form, often plays the primary role in the hunt. They are master strategists. The foundation of the pride is a steadfast alliance of related lionesses. Meanwhile, the dominant males, with their superior strength, assume the role of protectors, shielding the territory and the pride's future from intruders. Lionesses are responsible for hunting and raising the next generation. They often hunt in coordinated groups to bring down large prey like buffalo. This time, their quarry is a moving herd of buffalo. The pride moves silently through the scorched grass, every gaze fixed on the target. A buffalo unwittingly separates from the herd. Instantly, the attack begins. The lions face fierce resistance. But the strength of one is no match for the power of many. Today, the buffalo has become a feast for the pride. As the heavy footsteps of the buffalo herd pass, the savanna reveals a different rhythm of life, gentler yet ever vigilant. The African elephant, a symbol of absolute power. Their bodies are like moving boulders, with the largest males reaching heights of up to 13 feet and weighing over 6 tons. Their thick skin is like a suit of armor, and their curved tusks are both tools and a statement of status. Elephants typically live in herds led by an older, experienced female. They share an incredibly strong bond, collectively protecting their young and sharing memories of fertile lands. At a distant lake on the African savanna, it is the cheetah, the king of speed on this savanna. She and her cubs have been without food for 2 days. Today, the mother cheetah has seen a glimmer of hope. If she cannot bring back food, her cubs will starve to death. When the Thompson's gazelles finish drinking, the leader guides the herd to graze. The cheetah takes advantage of the moment when no prey is watching to draw closer. A gazelle startles, and the entire grassland shifts. The chase begins. In a moment of life and death, an unlucky gazelle has fallen. The cheetah's cubs have been saved. This is the unforgiving law of the great savanna. The fallen weak will nourish another. Life goes on day by day. The weak must struggle with death each day in exchange for breath. Leaving behind the burning sun and the fierce hunts of the African savanna, our journey into the wild takes us across the ocean to a completely different ecosystem. The Amazon rainforest, the colossal heart of South America. This is a harsh biological arena where survival is written in silent battles. Along these murky waters, a complex ecosystem is in constant motion. The Amazon River, stretching nearly 4,000 miles, is the lifeblood of an entire continent. The largest cat in the Americas and the apex predator of the Amazon rainforest is the jaguar. These solitary predators are primarily nocturnal, relying on their keen hearing and sight to locate prey even in the dense darkness. With their spotted coats, jaguars blend perfectly into their surroundings, moving like invisible phantoms. Their hunting technique is unique. Agile, silent. And explosive. A capybara has become a meal for the silent hunter. Beneath the dense canopy, the jaguar moves with silent grace, each step as light as a breath. Every hunt is a gamble. In the murky waters of the Amazon, a giant caiman lies in wait, a shadow biding its time. But the caiman underestimated the jaguar's strength. And it did not anticipate. Its carcass has become a meal for the jaguar. But the real nightmare for many creatures in the Amazon River is the black caiman. With a lifespan of up to 70 years, the black caiman possesses remarkable endurance. It can survive without food for weeks, even months, thanks to its ability to store energy as fat. Its jet black skin provides perfect camouflage in the dark waters. An ambush predator, the caiman often lies motionless in the water or hides among the riverside vegetation. From December to May, the Amazon enters its rainy season. The river level can rise by 10 to 16 feet, flooding millions of hectares of forest and creating a vast network of swamps and wetlands. These flooded forests, known as varzea, become temporary habitats for a multitude of species. The rainy season brings significant ecological changes, promoting the reproduction of many fish species and creating conditions for aquatic plants to thrive. About 60% of Amazonian fish species reproduce in these flooded forests. However, many other animals must find ways to survive in this rapidly changing environment. When rising waters flood parts of their nests, leafcutter ants must build their fungus chambers higher. They create natural drainage systems to keep their nests dry. In the complex and diverse Amazon ecosystem, the subterranean environment is composed of a nutrient-rich layer of humus. According to a 2023 study, the Amazon can store over 100 billion tons of carbon in its humus. More than 2,000 species of fungi have been recorded here, forming an intricate ecological network. They form symbiotic relationships with tree roots, aiding in the absorption of water and minerals from the soil. For the giant otter, the world's largest otter species, the rainy season presents significant challenges. The rising water levels alter their habitat, making hunting more difficult. Food becomes scarce, while threats from predators like black caimans and anacondas increase. Despite these challenges, giant otters exhibit remarkable adaptability. They change their hunting strategies, leveraging the strength of their family groups, which can number up to 20 members, to herd fish into shallower waters. This cooperation increases the giant otter's survival rate by up to 70% under these harsh conditions. Beneath the leaf litter on the Amazon floor, it is not only the domain of large predators, but also home to over 430 species of amphibians. Among them, the poison dart frog stands out as a sophisticated hunter with latent power. These frogs prey on small insects such as ants, termites, and spiders. Their vibrant colors, red, blue, yellow, and orange, serve as a potent warning. This tiny creature contains a powerful weapon, batrachotoxin. This toxin, one of the most potent found in nature, can paralyze the nervous system of prey and even cause death in humans. Even smaller than the poison dart frog are the insects and microorganisms that work tirelessly beneath the soft soil. Among them, leafcutter ants stand out as diligent workers. They cut leaves from surrounding plants and carry them back to their nests to cultivate a special type of fungus, the food source for the entire colony. Each leafcutter ant colony can contain millions of members, creating a complex and highly efficient division of labor. At a height of 100 to 160 feet above the ground, where sunlight filters through the dense canopy, is a vibrant and unique world. This high canopy stores up to 40% of the Amazon's carbon, playing a vital role in mitigating the impacts of climate change. About 50% of the Amazon's animal species can live their entire lives here without ever touching the ground. One such resident is the sloth, scientifically known as bradypus. As one of the world's slowest animals, the sloth moves at a speed of only about 0.15 miles per hour. This slowness is a result of its specialized diet, consisting mainly of leaves, flowers, and fruits. The sloth's digestive system has evolved to process cellulose from leaves, with digestion taking up to 30 days. In the dense canopy, as night falls or dawn breaks, strange howls echo. It is the call of the howler monkey, aluata. Their howls can travel up to 3 miles, allowing troop members to communicate and ensure no one gets lost. With a specially developed larynx, howler monkeys produce the loudest sounds of any primate. The spider monkey, Ateles, is a master of survival in the high canopy. These monkeys rarely set foot on the ground. They spend their entire lives suspended among the high branches, where they find food, reproduce, and care for their young. The spider monkey's body is perfectly adapted for life in the trees, with long arms and a prehensile tail that acts as a fifth limb. The toucan of the family Ramphastidae is a living emblem of the Amazon rainforest. These birds are instantly recognizable by their large, brilliantly colored beaks, which can make up a third of their body length. This beak is not just a feeding tool, but a biological marvel. Made of keratin with internal air pockets, the toucan's beak is as light as a feather, allowing it to fly with ease. Remarkably, the beak also serves as a natural radiator, helping to regulate its body temperature. Toucans are also key players in the Amazon's ecosystem as seed dispersers. Beneath the towering canopy, at a height of about 65 to 100 feet, is a world of dappled light. This is a transitional zone, a natural nursery where life germinates. The plant population here is incredibly dense, accounting for up to 60% of all plant species in the Amazon. Sheltering and nourishing thousands of unique plant and animal species. Notably, many insects in the forest canopy have evolved into masters of disguise. The katydid Tetigoniidae is a prime example. Their bodies are designed to perfectly mimic leaves, from the veins and color to even insect-bitten marks. In the rich world of the Amazon forest, thousands of spider species also thrive. Many spiders in the forest canopy have evolved sophisticated camouflage techniques. The crab spider, Thomisidae, is a master at changing its body color to blend in with its surroundings. In contrast to web-weaving spiders, the Goliath bird-eater is an ambush predator. It hides underground, detecting the slightest movements in its surroundings through sensitive hairs on its legs. When the moment is right, it lunges with remarkable speed, injecting venom and using its nearly 1-inch long fangs to quickly subdue its prey. On small branches, hummingbirds use spider silk and other small plant materials to build their nests. Hummingbirds are key pollinators, responsible for about 25% of pollination in the upper strata of the rainforest. They have the highest metabolic rate of any bird. Their heart rate can reach up to 1,200 beats per minute in flight, allowing them to move swiftly from flower to flower. Beyond the vast rainforests, the Amazon holds another world, mysterious caves. Formed by the weathering of limestone and sandstone over millions of years, these caves create a complex network of underground chambers. Inside these dark spaces, unique living conditions have driven the special adaptations of many creatures. In this low-light environment, many organisms rely on limited energy sources. The common vampire bat, Desmodus rotundus, is a special species of bat found here. The cave environment, with its darkness and stable humidity, provides the perfect shelter for them, helping them avoid predators and conserve energy. As the only bat species in the world that feeds exclusively on blood, the vampire bat needs about 0.7 fluid ounces of blood each night to survive. They use their sharp teeth to make a small incision in the prey's skin, then use their tongue to lap up the blood. This process is carried out silently, thanks to an enzyme in their saliva that acts as an anticoagulant and a pain reducer. The social behavior of vampire bats is also quite complex. If an individual fails to find food, other members of the group will often share their meal. The Amazon rainforest, renowned for its pristine beauty and vastness, stretches across 9 South American countries. The heart of this majestic forest is Brazil, which covers about 60% of the total area, acting as a giant green lung for our planet. The Amazon is home to an estimated 390 billion trees belonging to 16,000 species. This extraordinary diversity highlights the incredible adaptability and vitality in one of the planet's most challenging yet resource-rich environments. In Colombia, a land of mystery and wild blessings, the struggle for survival never ceases. Here, the strong relentlessly pursue the weak, and every creature must adapt or perish. Colombia is a battlefield of strategies, where life and death are perpetually intertwined, forming an endless, harsh, and mysterious cycle. In the northwestern corner of South America, Colombia spans a vast area of nearly 440,000 square miles. Colombia's biodiversity is like a thick book with thousands of unread chapters. With over 30,000 plant species, 1,950 bird species, and 500 mammal species recorded, there is still much to discover. If the rainforest is the lungs of the planet, then Colombia is Earth's deep, wild, and beautiful breath. At altitudes between 4,000 and 10,000 feet, the Andean cloud forests stretch across the mountain slopes. These lush, verdant forests, suspended between heaven and earth, are like a giant quilt, saturated with mist and teeming with life. This is an ethereal kingdom, where the mist is more than just a cold, drifting veil. It is a living shield, nurturing an entire ecological realm. Among the towering ancient trees, woolly monkeys live in large, tightly knit groups of up to 45 members. Here, they play, compete, and bond through complex gestures and vocalizations. Their calls echo through the treetops like a wild symphony, blending with the wind and the rustling of leaves. The woolly monkey's diet is a colorful and rich feast. Fruit is their favorite, but they do not rely solely on sweet sugars. When necessary, they diversify, eating leaves, seeds, and even insects to survive. Here the capybara reigns over the wetlands like silent kings. They are the world's largest rodents, measuring from 3 to 4 feet long and weighing between 77 and 145 pounds. Time has shaped this species over millions of years, perfecting its adaptation to a semi-aquatic environment. Their thick, reddish-brown fur provides natural camouflage in the vegetation. Their webbed feet make them agile swimmers, allowing them to quickly escape from predators like caimans. This place is not just a home, it is an arena for survival. In the heart of the Amazon rainforest, a silent yet fierce battle is being waged. Conservation efforts, like a small flame in the darkness, are striving to keep the Earth's green lung from fading. Here, conservationists work tirelessly to protect nature reserves and forest areas managed by indigenous communities. According to a 2023 study, these indigenous managed areas have significantly reduced deforestation, helping to preserve over 55 million hectares of the Amazon rainforest. In addition, non-governmental organizations and national governments have collaborated closely to implement reforestation programs. These successes are not just milestones in conservation efforts, but also a reminder that positive change is possible when we cooperate and act. The Amazon needs us, and we need the Amazon. An inseparable relationship in the fight to protect our future. From the Strait of Gibraltar, the Western Mediterranean takes shape as a distinct biological realm. It is the first region to receive the cold, oxygen-rich and nutrient-dense waters from the Atlantic. This cold, oxygenated water creates ideal conditions for marine life to flourish. In the Alboran Sea, in particular, a natural process known as upwelling frequently occurs. As a result, this area boasts the highest level of primary productivity in the entire Mediterranean region. Amidst the cool blue waters, where oxygen and sunlight are plentiful, a small dash of color suddenly appears on the cliffs. It is the Atlantic puffin. Often nicknamed the clown of the sea for its striking triangular beak, painted in shades of red, orange, yellow, and gray. This vibrant palette appears only in the spring, during the breeding season, and quietly fades as winter returns. Inside, thin plates act as superfine combs, separating food from mud and water. With this setup, a single puffin can dive and catch more than 10 fish at once, neatly arranged in its beak. Despite its rounded body and seemingly clumsy appearance on land, the puffin transforms underwater. Its small wings act as aquatic paddles, generating powerful propulsion through the water. During their migration, puffins follow ocean currents and wind patterns to seek out nutrient-rich waters. The Alboran Sea, in particular, benefits from the interaction of Atlantic currents and local winds. Now, let us dive deeper beneath the waves. Below the clear blue surface are lush seagrass meadows known as Mediterranean tapeweed. These underwater forests store carbon, produce oxygen, and serve as a crucial sanctuary for hundreds of species. In deeper waters, colonies of long-lived oysters build enormous limestone reefs over centuries. Beneath the crystalline waters of the Western Mediterranean, vast beds of Posidonia oceanica form silent underwater meadows. Loggerhead sea turtles are frequent visitors to these seagrass beds, drawn here to feed and rest. The loggerhead's oversized head is not just a distinguishing feature, it is a specialized hunting tool. Within that seemingly cumbersome head lies a powerful jaw structure capable of generating one of the strongest bites. This allows the loggerhead to easily crush the hard shells of crabs, snails, clams, and other crustaceans. Despite its slow, awkward movements on sandy shores, the loggerhead is capable of swimming thousands of miles. In the Pacific, some individuals have been recorded traveling over 9,000 miles from Japan to the waters of Mexico. In the Mediterranean, their journeys are shorter, but no less demanding. To navigate, loggerheads rely on the Earth's magnetic field as a natural map. From the moment they hatch, loggerhead sea turtles enter a mysterious chapter that biologists call the lost years. During this time, they follow major ocean currents, where floating mats of algae provide both food and shelter. Perhaps one of the most profound and moving mysteries of the natural world is the power of memory. After decades of wandering the vast, open ocean, how does a solitary creature remember the way back home? It has no map, no compass. It has only an invisible chart, etched deep within its genetic code, a whisper of the Earth's magnetic field, guiding it back to the very same sands where it first drew breath. This journey across thousands of miles is more than a migration. It is a pilgrimage. An ancient promise fulfilled, to complete a circle of life that has been repeated since the age of the dinosaurs. An adult loggerhead turtle averages about 297 pounds with a carapace length of up to 35 inches. They typically begin to reproduce between the ages of 17 and 33 and can live for more than 60 years. A single turtle may return to the very same stretch of sand where it once hatched to lay its eggs. As they mature, loggerheads return to coastal waters and begin to select long-term feeding grounds. The Western Mediterranean has become one of their key destinations thanks to its open marine ecosystems. It is the ocean sunfish, the gentle giant of the sea with its flat, disc-like body. Shaped like a severed fish head without a tail, the sunfish lacks a traditional caudal fin. Its two large vertical fins flap like oars, giving it a slow, clumsy swimming motion. Weighing up to nearly 6,000 pounds, the sunfish holds the record as the heaviest bony fish in the world. Yet, within that massive body is a gentle creature with a small mouth and fused teeth. For much of the day, the sunfish stays near the surface, where temperatures are stable and food is abundant. Their characteristic sunbathing behavior usually occurs in the morning when the sunfish floats on its side, basking in the sunday. Some individuals are capable of diving to depths of over 650 feet, though only for short periods. History is not always written on stone or paper. Sometimes it is inscribed on the flesh itself. Each scar on the body of a Risso's dolphin is a chapter in the chronicle of its life. A mark from a confrontation with a giant squid in the abyss. A scratch from the complex social interactions with its own kind. Over time, their bodies become a living tapestry, recording every battle, every journey, every encounter. To look upon a mature Risso's dolphin is not just to see a creature. It is to read the story of a life, fully lived. But deeper, in the twilight layers, another presence emerges, the Risso's dolphin. From birth, the skin of a Risso's dolphin is typically a pale brown or silvery gray. But over time, every social interaction and every deep-sea hunt leaves its mark. By adulthood, an individual can appear almost entirely white, as if its body has recorded its entire history. With a robust body, about 10 to 13 feet long and weighing from 660 to 880 pounds. This unique body design reflects a highly specialized evolutionary path, one built for a life of nocturnal squid hunting. In the western Mediterranean, where the seabed slopes into deep canyons, Risso's dolphins inhabit the edges of the continental shelves. However, since 2014, a notable shift has occurred. More individuals have been observed farther offshore at an average of 29 miles. Current estimates suggest about 2,000 individuals in winter and 1,400 in summer in the northwestern Mediterranean alone. Their social structure is highly fluid. They typically live in groups of 10 to 50 individuals. The Western Mediterranean provides Risso's dolphins with an ideal environment for hunting and sustaining their numbers. But this dependence on a very specific habitat also makes the species extremely vulnerable. Noise pollution from ship traffic, military sonar, and offshore oil exploration severely disrupts their ability to navigate. This is the largest and most powerful of the bluefin species. In the grand design of the ocean, they are machines of speed. An adult Atlantic bluefin tuna can grow up to 10.5 feet long and weigh nearly 2,000 pounds. Their circulatory system has a mechanism that allows them to maintain a body temperature 18 to 27 degrees Fahrenheit higher than the surrounding water. Their bodies are built almost entirely of muscle, in constant motion. But more remarkable than their strength is the lifelong journey they undertake. Atlantic bluefin tuna are born in only two places, the Gulf of Mexico and the Western Mediterranean. These are born in the nutrient-rich coastal waters off the Balearic Islands and the Alboran Sea. Then, after 4 to 6 years, they return to the very place they were born to reproduce. Satellite tracking shows that up to 68% of tagged individuals return to their original birthplace. They spawn in the summer, from May to July, when water temperature and salinity reach optimal levels. A single adult female can lay up to 10 million eggs in one season, though less than 1% survive. Commercially, the Atlantic bluefin tuna is of staggering value. A single fish can be auctioned for up to $3 million at top seafood markets in Tokyo. Their prized belly section, known as toro, has a melt-in-your-mouth texture and a rich, fatty flavor. But toro is not just a delicacy for humans, it is also a favorite target of orcas. Power is not always the ultimate weapon in the ocean. Sometimes it is intelligence. These orcas are not just predators. They are strategists, masters of tactics, who have developed a unique culture. They have observed, learned, and passed down knowledge from one generation to the next. How to exploit the labors of man. Instead of spending hours chasing down a swift tuna, they have learned a far simpler method. Let the fisherman do the hard work. The act that is about to unfold is not merely theft. It is a display of social intelligence, a testament that even in the wild, knowledge is power. Beneath the deep blue waters of the Alboran Sea, pods of orcas are often seen patrolling the tuna fishing grounds. With fine-tuned hearing and meticulous encirclement tactics, they target adult Atlantic bluefin tuna. Hunting a bluefin tuna can take hours, requiring extraordinary endurance and cooperation. Biologically, the orca possesses a brain comparable in size to that of an African elephant, with the second highest brain-to-body mass ratio. Their neocortex, the region associated with emotion and social cognition, is highly developed. Despite the nickname killer whale, the orca is actually the largest member of the dolphin family. Evolutionarily, they diverged from their closest dolphin relatives about 2 million years ago. In the Western Mediterranean, orcas are rare but not unfamiliar residents. They are most frequently observed around the Strait of Gibraltar and the Alboran Sea. The Gibraltar orca groups have been identified as having distinct acoustic dialects. Each pod maintains its own sound language for communication and navigation, suggesting the presence of regional culture. Much like elephants on land, an older matriarch often leads the pod, passing down knowledge. No radar, no signal, just a pale silhouette gliding beneath the deep blue surface. And then it is gone. Even in a sea as seemingly familiar as the Western Mediterranean, the appearance of a great white shark still unsettles. The species can grow up to 20 or even 23 feet long, weighing more than 4,400 pounds as an adult. Thanks to a network of blood vessels, the heat generated by its powerful muscles is retained rather than lost. Vital organs like the eyes, swimming muscles, and even the stomach are maintained at a temperature 7 to 13 degrees Fahrenheit higher. The great white shark also employs a precision sensory system known as the ampullae of Lorenzini. Tiny electrosensitive pores are scattered across its snout. Its jaw contains about 300 razor-sharp triangular teeth, arranged in 5 rotating rows. As prey swims peacefully above, a sudden vertical strike comes without warning. With a bite force of up to 18,216 newtons, bone shatters the moment those triangular blades lock on. As an apex predator, the great white shark sits at the top of the ocean food chain. It has no natural enemies except for the orca, a hunter equipped with precision sonar and strategic coordination. When these two giants meet, victory depends not on teeth or speed, but on teamwork and memory. The great white shark may be a fearsome hunter, but to an orca, it becomes prey with no quarter given. Today, the species faces a serious risk of disappearance due to its slow reproductive rate. coupled with pressures from bycatch, harvesting for fins and teeth, and the trade in its tissues. The International Union for Conservation of Nature now lists the great white shark in this region as critically endangered. Unlike the sudden, silent presence of the great white shark, the blue shark is seen more frequently, yet it remains an enigma. It lives far from shore, present year-round in the western Mediterranean, though its density varies with the seasons. Satellite tag data show that from May to October, blue sharks are most concentrated in the Alboran Sea. Unlike coastal or deep-sea predators, the blue shark has evolved to thrive in the open ocean. Its deep indigo back fades to a turquoise along its flanks and a silvery white underneath. This coloration renders it nearly invisible when viewed from above or below. In the deep blue waters of the Mediterranean, a sleek silhouette shimmers with turquoise and glides by. The blue shark, slender and nearly 10 feet long, is built for speed and endurance. Its keen sense of smell can detect dilute traces of blood from hundreds of yards away. When a target appears, a stray school of mackerel, the shark's sharp dorsal fin cuts through the water. Reproductively, blue shark embryos develop inside the mother's body and are born fully formed. A single female can give birth to between 25 and over 100 pups, with a record of 135 in one litter. Blue shark fins are particularly prized in Asian shark fin markets. In the Western Mediterranean, the blue shark is a symbol of biological connectivity across oceans. As the blue shark cuts through the open ocean like a living blade on its hunts, far below at depths of 1,000 to 1,600 feet, a colossal silhouette silently emerges. It is the fin whale, the graceful giant of the sea. This awe-inspiring creature can reach up to 79 feet in length and weigh around about 170,000 pounds. In the western Mediterranean, fin whales migrate seasonally, taking advantage of the nutrient-rich waters for feeding. Despite their enormous size, their bodies are elongated and hydrodynamic. That is why they are often called the greyhounds of the sea. One of the species' most unique features is the asymmetrical coloration on its head, particularly along the lower jaw. A bright white on the right side and a dark grey on the left. This phenomenon is entirely unique. With a swift burst into a school of krill or small fish, the fin whale opens its mouth wide, expanding like a vacuum. Then, it closes its mouth and uses a massive tongue like a soft rubber piston to push water through its baleen plates. This behavior requires a perfect combination of speed, mouth, volume, breath control, and mechanical precision. Though not an active predator, the fin whale is one of the planet's largest biological filters. In the heart of the Mediterranean Sea, where the surface waters deepen to a dark indigo as they drift offshore, the striped dolphin is a common sight. They travel in pods from a few dozen to several hundred, surfacing and diving in a sharp, synchronized rhythm. With a slender body about 6.5 to 8 feet long and distinctive black stripes running from eye to flank. They are not solitary hunters, but high-speed artists of motion. In the Gulf of Taranto, surveys from 2011 to 2015 recorded an average density of about 2.5 individuals per square mile. Beneath the deep blue surface, the striped dolphin is a spectacle of kinetic energy. They can leap 20 to 23 feet into the air, twisting their tails mid-flight like the ballet dancers of the sea. The sounds they produce, including clicks, burst pulses, and whistles. They descend into the mesopelagic zone, rich in squid, fish, and crustaceans, using their advanced echolocation abilities. However, in recent years, industrial fishing, ship traffic, and noise pollution have pushed these dolphins. However, data from the Habitats Directive Monitoring Program offers hope. With a stable social system, formidable hunting skills, and agile movement through shifting currents. Just beneath the waves where the striped dolphin just vanished into the deep blue of the central Mediterranean, a long, sharp silhouette silently emerges from the deeper waters. It is the swordfish, the solitary hunter of the open ocean, wielding a signature weapon. But in the central Mediterranean, there is another rival known for its speed, often nicknamed the warm-blooded cheetah of the ocean, the short-fin mako shark. A solitary hunter, constantly in motion, constantly fighting for survival in an ocean that changes daily. Just beyond the mako shark's hunting grounds in the deep waters of the central Mediterranean, among the vast seamount ridges, the sperm whale appears. Its massive, square-shaped head occupies nearly 1/3 of its body length, housing the unique spermaceti organ. This organ amplifies a series of clicks into powerful ultrasonic beams for echolocation. A sperm whale's hunting journey often lasts up to 90 minutes. The social behavior of sperm whales in the central Mediterranean is more complex than one might expect. Female whales and their young live together in matrilineal groups, cooperating to raise the next generation. Adult males, on the other hand, live solitary lives or form small bachelor pods. Communication is carried out through a system of codas, rhythmic sequences of clicks. The reproductive biology of the sperm whale is particularly slow. Females reach a reproductive length of about 33 to 39 feet, while males grow to about 52 to 59 feet. Dives lasting up to an hour or more into the abyss push the limits of pressure and oxygen. However, studies have found that old whale skeletons often show signs of a vascular necrosis. In the eastern Mediterranean, this is a species that chooses not explosive action, but instead follows a strategy of slow living. A gestation of nearly 2 years, the longest reproductive cycle of all shark species. With a body often likened to the classic image of a shark, the dusky shark has a long torpedo-like shape. Adults can grow over 13 feet long and weigh more than 750 pounds. However, behind this iconic appearance lies a biological paradox. The dusky shark lives a life so slow that it seems out of sync with a fast-moving world. Females do not begin to reproduce until around age 21. Males mature slightly earlier, at about 19. When mating occurs, the gestation lasts from 22 to 24 months, one of the longest pregnancies. A single reproductive cycle can last up to 3 years. In the eastern Mediterranean, this species moves silently along the coastal currents. In this unusually warm pocket of water, researchers have found adult dusky sharks. Diving to depths of about 65 to 260 feet, where the reefs are obscured in shadow. You will encounter a creature entirely different from the dusky shark, the Mediterranean moray eel. The Mediterranean moray is a master of staying still, choosing to live hidden among narrow rock crevices. Its long, muscular body is covered in a slippery mucus layer which helps protect against parasites. In some cases, this mucus contains mild hemolytic toxins that can cause minor skin irritation. A continuous, ribbon-like fin runs from its back to its tail, enveloping the body in a fluid motion. The species is faithful to fixed rock formations and reefs, sometimes found scattered at depths of 330 feet. The Mediterranean moray grows slowly, with an average lifespan of up to 38 years. During the day, they remain almost completely hidden in crevices, with only their heads protruding to observe. Their diet is varied, but consists mainly of small fish, crabs, shrimp, and especially octopus and squid. In addition to their sharp outer jaws, they possess a pharyngeal jaw located deep in their throat. This mechanism operates independently of the main jaw, allowing the moray to effectively capture and swallow prey. From the warm waters of the Red Sea, a striking creature silently began its journey north, the lionfish. It settled in the eastern Mediterranean, where the sea is clear but nutrient poor, and where the reefs adorned with flowing fins like silk and hues that echo the elegance of ancient ceremony. But behind that mesmerizing facade are venomous spines that punish those who come too close. Each fin contains a series of needle-sharp spines, and 18 of them are a venom injection system. The venom, a complex protein-based toxin, can cause intense localized pain and swelling. Once native to the Indo-Pacific, the lionfish has become one of the most notorious invasive species. First recorded off the coast of Israel in 1991, it quickly spread throughout the Levantine Basin. By 2024, research from Wageningen University reported growing numbers along the coastlines. In the eastern Adriatic, more than 120 individuals were recorded on citizen science platforms in just the last 6 months of 2024. The lionfish population is exploding due to their incredible reproductive rate. Each female can lay tens of thousands of eggs in a cycle that repeats every few days. Their eggs are encased in a buoyant gel that drifts with the ocean currents. Lionfish are patient hunters. Their ornate pectoral fins spread out to corner small fish. Some individuals even squirt jets of water to disorient their prey. In the eastern Mediterranean, where native fish lack natural defenses, the lionfish has caused declines. But the ecological impact goes beyond numbers. The rapid loss of native fish disrupts food webs. Many of these small fish typically graze on algae, which, if left unchecked, overgrows and smothers coral surfaces. Lionfish do not directly harm coral, but their relentless predation weakens reef systems. Under the influence of climate change, the eastern Mediterranean continues to warm. Updated ecological distribution models from 2025 predict their westward advance. Some studies suggest that without control measures, lionfish could become the dominant benthic biomass. Only 8 to 16 inches long, no one would suspect that it carries a neurotoxin thousands of times more potent than cyanide. With no predators and no controls, it reproduces rapidly and is silently destroying ecosystems. From an ecological perspective, the silver-cheeked toadfish is becoming a prime example of an invincible invader. A combination of potent toxins, aggressive behavior, rapid reproduction, bait stealing, and a complete lack of natural enemies. However, because the fish cannot be safely consumed, large-scale culling strategies are almost unfeasible. As invaders like the silver-cheeked toadfish continue to spread, an ancient symbol of the Mediterranean quietly clings to survival. The Mediterranean monk seal, the rarest seal in the world, carries no toxins, has no overwhelming tactics. Hidden in concealed sea caves and increasingly fragile coastal waters. Once common from Morocco to the Black Sea, the Mediterranean monk seal was nearly wiped out after centuries of hunting. By the early 21st century, fewer than 500 individuals remained on Earth. Thanks to dedicated conservation efforts, by 2024, the population had grown to an estimated 815 to 997 individuals. Greece and Turkey together now account for about 30 to 40% of the global population. Once giving birth on open beaches, these seals now seek refuge deep within submerged caves. Ironically, this behavior now makes them vulnerable to rising sea levels and powerful storms. Unlike many pinnipeds that congregate in large colonies, monk seals tend to be solitary. With their dark brown coats and rounded heads, they have earned the nickname the silent monks of the sea. However, their ecological role is anything but silent. As top predators, they help regulate bottom-dwelling fish populations. Greece currently hosts the largest known population, with key sites including the island of Gyaros and the Alonissos Marine Park. Turkey has recorded about 120 individuals along the coasts of Mersin, Hatay, and Antalya. However, they continue to face threats from fishing nets, tourism, and high levels of inbreeding. Its return is living proof of nature's resilience when given a chance. As the monk seal dives deep into its sea caves to escape the sun and human presence, another creature silently emerges. It is the European shag, a coastal seabird deeply tied to the towering cliffs. This is a seabird endemic to the Mediterranean with an evolutionary history stretching back over 9 million years. Unlike its close relative, the great cormorant, the European shag is completely dedicated to saltwater environments. Its slender skeleton, sloping head, and sharp beak are perfectly adapted to the rugged underwater terrain. With short wings and a compact body, it can dive up to 200 feet deep in just 30 seconds. The European shag is not a long-distance migrant. They nest in fixed locations, often choosing crevices. In the Adriatic, about 4,900 individuals overwinter, primarily along the coasts of Croatia and Italy. However, the numbers are gradually declining due to tourism pressure, light pollution, and bycatch. However, the challenges facing the Mediterranean do not stop there. This sea is warming at more than twice the rate. Between 1982 and 2019, sea surface temperatures rose by 2.3 degrees Fahrenheit. In the summer of 2024 alone, offshore waters near Corsica recorded 87.4 degrees Fahrenheit. By June 2025, marine heat waves arrived earlier than usual, with temperature anomalies. Evaporation has surpassed precipitation, causing an increase in salinity, especially in the eastern basin. Ecosystems are suffering a heavy toll. Corals are bleaching, seagrass is yellowing, and benthic organisms are weakening. More than 85% of recent mass mortality events are linked to rising temperatures. At the same time, waves of alien species invading through the Suez Canal are disrupting the biological fabric. Even the fin whale, the only resident large whale in the Mediterranean, faces threats. The Mediterranean Sea, a body of water rich in ancient sediments, diverse landscapes, and complex ecosystems. This is no longer a warning, it is an urgent call for conservation. As of 2025, the Mediterranean has established over 1,000 marine protected areas, covering about 9.4% of its surface. In Greece, 2 new marine parks totaling 10,600 square miles have just been announced. The country has also committed €780 million to 21 conservation projects by 2030. Meanwhile, efforts to restore coral and endemic species are gaining momentum. In France, more than 800 reef-building coral clusters have been replanted in the waters of Toulon. In the eastern Mediterranean, the Life Pinna project is breeding Pinna nobilis to restore a nearly wiped-out population. Technology is also playing a crucial role. AIS tracking systems from Global Fishing Watch have detected over 9,500 days of illegal fishing. For conservation in the Mediterranean Sea to be successful in the long run, the role of communities and individuals is irreplaceable. minimizing plastic waste, making responsible consumer choices, and avoiding behaviors harmful to the ocean. Protecting ecosystems is not just about nature, it is a conscious choice to live better. Deep within the Ngorongoro crater, often described as a primeval arena of life, exists a bird adorned in a brilliant pink, like a sunset stretched across the salt flats. For the lesser flamingo, a small but proud species, the Ngorongoro crater is an extraordinary natural restaurant in the Tanzanian highlands. At the center of the crater lies Lake Magadi, a shallow, alkaline, saline lake that seems inhospitable but is a fertile ground for the explosive growth of spirulina cyanobacteria. This alga is the almost exclusive food source for the lesser flamingo. Rich in carotenoids, the algae impart their characteristic pink hue to the bird's plumage, as if dyed by the very sun of the equatorial sky. This bill is not a mouth, but a delicate, living harvester. Inverted in the alkaline water, it becomes an engine of exquisite precision, sifting the very essence of life from the caustic soup. It is a tool perfected over millennia, designed to find sustenance where others find only barrenness. Although found in many parts of Africa, nearly 80% of the world's lesser flamingo population, estimated at 2.2 to 3.2 million individuals in 2025, currently thrives in East Africa. Lake Magadi serves as a crucial stopover in their life cycle, a perfect refueling station when larger lakes dry up. Change their alkalinity, or lose their food supply under the influence of climate change. The world operates under a relentless law. No mercy, no exceptions. Every step could be the last. Life is paid for with loss. And death nourishes the life that follows. Africa, under a searing heat, is a kingdom with no place for the weak. Trudging slowly through this fiery crucible are Tatu and Zuka. Exiled by their own father to obey the laws of natural selection, the two brothers have just entered a nomadic existence of life and death. Without the protection of their pride, their odds of survival are now a mere 1 in 10. The only thing anchoring them to the threshold of life is this bond of blood. But a gnawing hunger has pushed them beyond all endurance. Risking everything, Tatu targets a herd of impala sheltering in the distance. However, to hunt in the full glare of the sun with such a powerful build is an act of near suicide. Under the violent sun, the most vigilant eyes of the savannah have already locked onto them. And no eyes are more discerning than those of Africa's giant sentinels. The giraffe. With eyes the size of golf balls, perfectly positioned on either side of their skulls, they possess an almost perfect panoramic view. From a height of over 16 feet, towering over the plains, not a single blade of grass can stir without their notice. The old bull does not flee. He stands firm like a steadfast watchtower, puffing out his muscular chest. Though human ears cannot detect it, the giraffe is emitting infrasonic waves, deep vibrations that travel through the thick air. A startlingly perfect early warning system. In an instant, the impala herd vanishes into a hazy cloud of dust. Tatu's ambush has failed completely before it could even begin. Standing under the harsh sun, Tatu and Zuka have learned a bitter lesson of survival. The supreme muscular strength of a lion is rendered meaningless if they cannot bypass this living radar system of the savannah. As the midday heat nears its peak, a need more primal and urgent than hunger begins to stir. Water. In Africa, water is not just the source of life. It is the boundary that defines ultimate power. Tatu and Zuka, drained by the merciless sun, are forced to a murky wallow, bubbling and reeking of ammonia. But in this arid land, no drop of water is free. The hippopotamus. Though they possess a special skin that secretes a blood-red mucus as a natural sunblock, they must remain submerged to regulate their body temperature. And as the water holes shrink, the territoriality of these tyrants of the swamp becomes brutally extreme. An enormous bull, weighing over 3 tons, suddenly surfaces from the turbid water. Its bite possesses a terrifying power, enough to snap a full-grown crocodile in half. For young lions like Tatu and Zuka, such a bite would be an irreversible death sentence. Yet, their ordeal for the day is far from over. The ground beneath them begins to tremble rhythmically, heralding the arrival of giant phantoms emerging from the red dust. A herd of African elephants. Leading them is a veteran matriarch, the holder of the wisdom and absolute authority of an entire family. Her extraordinary spatial memory is a priceless map of survival, guiding her herd to water from dozens of miles away. She flares her enormous ears in a threat display, lets out a deafening trumpet, and kicks up clouds of dust. Faced with a weight of over 4 tons and this unbreakable family bond, all resistance from the predators is futile. Tatu and Zuka must once again retreat, sullenly surrendering the quiet shade to these magnificent beings. In the bright light of day, they have come to understand a harsh truth of the savannah. Before the true giants of nature, even apex predators must learn to bow in deference. As the afternoon sun begins to dip, the oppressive heat continues to suffocate the savanna. Most creatures have settled into a state of rest, seeking scarce relief beneath the sparse acacia trees. But for Tatu and Zuka, gnawing hunger has driven them to the edge. Without the velvet cloak of darkness for cover, the magnificent coats and powerful frames of male lions suddenly become a critical weakness. However, these future kings are not armed merely with muscle and sharp teeth. They possess a superb spatial intelligence and a phenomenal ability to adapt to adversity. Instead of giving up, Tatu and Zuka decide to turn the cracked scars of the landscape into their ultimate weapon. They begin to stalk. Moving carefully against the wind, the two brothers use this invisible trench to silently close the distance. Their target, a languid herd of Cape buffalo. An incredible silent coordination unfolds. Zuka suddenly bursts forward, startling the herd and driving them in a panic toward the edge of a ravine. Instantly, Tatu makes his move. He latches onto an unlucky young buffalo that has stumbled and lost its footing. The perfect fusion of brute strength and sophisticated tactics has produced a spectacular daytime miracle.